What NES game is named after its creator's desire to just absolutely give up with everything and retire if it didn't work because he was just so done with everything?
Rampage?
That's an excellent, that's a great guess. That's a wonderful guess.
Thanks.
The actual answer, though, is... Oh man, I'm so happy to have you on. This is Greg Behrens, who's a streamer, a stand-up comedian. I know he's also in the process of working on making a movie. Just great amazeballs retro stream. Go check him out. Go give a follow.
Thanks, man.
So cool. So, since you are a retro gaming expert and you love the NES, man, I thought it might be kind of fun. Play a little NES trivia.
Okay.
And I'm going to warn you that much of this trivia will just be straight up impossible. Okay? Just have fun
I
with
would
it.
imagine it would have been pretty impossible anyway.
That's the plan. But we'll start off a little easy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So first off, what NES peripheral was highlighted in the movie The Wizard?
Oh, the Power Glove. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't know. Did you ever know anybody that had one of those? I always thought it looked stupid. Like, I didn't really. I was like, why does this make any sense?
What food inspired the visual design of the character Pac-Man?
I'd have to think a pie or like pizza. It would have to be.
Totally correct. 100% correct. Pizza, right?
Yeah.
Missing a slice. Yeah.
Right.
What was the name of the NES robot?
It's Rob, right? Like.
Totally.
Yeah,
Dude, you killed it. You're 2 out of 3 now.
Okay.
It is Rob, robotic operating buddy.
That
the
I would
most
not
useless
have
robot ever made.
I knew it was Rob, but I didn't. Yeah, I would not have known what the initials stood for.
So apparently they made him not because they thought that it was really gonna like work for a bunch of games. They needed some goofy, flashy thing to sell at trade shows to convince people to actually take the system in the first place.
You know what is crazy, man? That's a weird, just side thing. My last job that I had before I did stand-up, a lot of the old sales guys always talked about going to trade shows. Like that was like like back in there. Yeah, that's what we sold, that kind of stuff. And they would go to those trade shows and see like robots from like game companies in Japan and shit like that, and they would see all that stuff and talk about how much like drunken debauchery would go on at those like trade show conventions.
By day you hand out keychains to try and sell critical infrastructure. You're like, oh, check out this pen, check out this keychain, check out this stupid pad. I remember back in the day it'd be like just dumb shit, and then at night you just get hammered and try and hook up. Yeah,
that was all they were doing, and they had like a million stories about it. But it's so funny that robot was like a trade show robot, like that they
that's exactly what he was. But he was such a good robot that they put him on all the marketing and then made no games for him. It was great. Yeah,
there was only like 2 games for it, and nobody's worked. Like nobody that had one had it work.
Not useful at all. What NES game is named after its creator's desire to just absolutely give up with everything and retire if it didn't work because he was just so done with everything? He was like, fuck this, I'm out if this one doesn't work.
Rampage?
That's an excellent, that's a great guess. That's a wonderful guess.
Thanks.
The actual answer, though, is Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like, if
sense.
This one doesn't work, fuck it, I'm out. Speaking of old school, way back, what was the first NES game to have cutscene? And I'll give you a hint. It was like serious cutscenes, and it was like, whoa, cutscenes.
Was it Metal Gear?
But they had cool like discussions where you'd be like on the radio.
What about like Ninja Gaiden or Ninja Gaiden?
That's it. That's Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
how
that's
impossible is
another
that game?
classic rental game. So hard.
Which of these were official Famicom in Japan peripherals?
Oh man.
Because, you know, we talked about peripherals, and in the US we got a couple. Some of them were good, some of them were terrible, but they were all interesting.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, in Japan, way more interesting. Lamp. Real or not?
So you just plug something into the Nintendo and it's a lamp. They probably made those. There's probably something like that.
No lamp.
No lamp. Okay.
No lamp. Too basic. Too basic. They need like
Yeah,
crazy
I guess
shit.
it's too simple.
Okay, drink heater.
No.
No drink heater. Tape recorder.
That one seems pretty real.
Oh, totally, 100%. It was the 80s. Of course they had a tape recorder, but it was for data, because that's how you used to keep data.
Okay, yeah. Like how they used to have the little cassettes for, like, you know, Atari and Commodore computers and
Totally. Okay, sewing machine?
I'm just going to say yeah, because it's so crazy.
So that one's a trick question, because the answer is they made the sewing machines for trade shows,
Okay.
and they had functioning sewing machines that worked with the NES. But then no one was like, we really want the sewing machine itself, but they decided strategically, in very 80s sensibility, like, well, we better keep the software, because their thinking at the time was, we want the men to be able to convince their wives that there's sewing machine software on the family computer to make it have a use beyond just games playing.
Oh, that's insane.
So yeah, that was some very very interesting old school misogynistic, like, oh yeah, we'll just, you know.
Yeah, when in reality, people that have the mentality of like, oh, we got to keep some sewing machine stuff for the old lady are the type of people who are like terrified of computers at that time. Like that they were going to just like destroy the world, you know? Progress is very slow.
Totally. All right, so camera.
What was it?
Camera.
Oh, the camera. Hey, that seems real too.
Totally not real. I never had one.
Wow.
Isn't that kind of a shock? Yeah. Apparently, I guess it was like
It
technical.
is, because I feel like it's a camera peripheral is now so common to everything. You know, like now it's like integrated in everything. But at the
100%.
time, you would think it would be a thing that they were trying to work with.
Whack-a-mole.
That's gotta be a real thing. Like
Oh yeah, that was real. Totally.
Yeah, that's gotta be like, there had to be like a game like that where you.
I mean, if you could make a whack-a-mole, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, because now, like, eventually you had like Wii's and things like that where everything's based on. There was a game that had maracas as a thing.
All right, so modem. What do you got?
I feel like probably that's around that time where modems were starting to get big. So I feel like they probably would have tried one.
Shockingly, actually, yeah, they did, and they totally, they had a little online service, which is like way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And the last one, sex toy, Nintendo sex toy.
if there is one, it's some like depraved person that like just is no affiliation to Nintendo and has created them. So it probably exists.
Probably third party peripheral.
It's gotta be a third party.
Well, officially, no, there were none. So, but yeah, so we'll mark that up as correct. There were none, no sex toys, but probably a third party peripheral somewhere.
Yeah.
Next question. Shigeru Miyamoto created Super Mario Brothers and Legend of Zelda, but what NES title of his was banned by Nintendo of America from release in the US?
Oh, wow. I don't know. The only thing I know is the original, like, second Super Mario didn't.
The one the super hard one.
Yeah, that didn't come to the U.S. But I don't know.
We're gonna make one so hard they can't handle it over there.
Yeah. And then later was like the Lost Levels.
So that one was a choice, but that wasn't actually banned by NOA. The one that was banned was a crazy game that I had never heard of. Devil World. It's like Pac-Man, but you collect crosses and Bibles to avoid the devil. So NOA was like, too religious. We can't do it.
I would imagine that they thought that.
Because back in the 80s, that was like, they were like, oh, no religion anywhere, yeah.
I just recently acquired Bible Adventures, so I'm gonna do that at some point on the stream. I'm so looking forward. I've never played it. I'm so looking forward to it because I've heard horrible things. I can't wait to do it. But that sounds great. Like that. Like I wish that existed, or if there was a copy of it somewhere, it would be amazing.
Worldwide, how many NES and Famicom systems were actually sold?
Oh shit! I mean, it's gotta be millions. Yeah, like.
Throw out a number.
Oh, shit, man. Say like 95 million. I don't know.
Wow, you're actually pretty close. Dude, they sold 62 million, just under 62 million.
Wow.
Right? That's like a crazy number. So last question, okay? And this one's big.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Yeah, sure.
What was your technique to make a malfunctioning NES cartridge work? When you would put it in and it wouldn't quite work?
Oh. Well, I mean, obviously you blow in it. That's like the first thing. Like nobody even knows what that does, like the dust buildup. But then when
everyone thought.
Yeah, everybody thought, and it seemed to work plenty of times. But there are some times when you put it in there, you had to like kind of like slide it side to side a little bit, and then get it to like then you push it down.
Back
you get it like where it felt like it was on there, and then you like then you push
Sometimes
it down.
I would put the second cartridge in. You ever open up it, put a second one in, and like hold it down?
Oh no, I never did that, but I actually had a PlayStation one time where the lid always came up and we used to put it upside down all the time. Like we'd always like turn it upside down. But yeah, I never did that I never put a cartridge in, but I would try another one and then like keep switching
go back
them
and forth, swap them up.
But yeah,
but
I feel like
the classic was always absolutely just like blowing it and then insert.
Yeah.
I like to think that years later, my sexual partners benefited greatly from my experience with Nintendos. I'm like, circle, and then you insert. Yeah. First introductions to how the world works.
Look at all the dust in there.
Yeah. So, dude, great time chit-chatting. Thank you so much for coming on, man. And you did fantastic with trivia, dude.
That's great,
trivia,
man.
You killed it. I feel like you got maybe about half of them on a list that was absolutely impossible.
Well, I appreciate it, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and anyone who's watching, check out Greg's, check out his YouTube, check out his Insta, check out his, all of his stuff, man, because it's all so good. Especially those YouTube videos, man. Like you've like re-edited them up so they're like snappy, fun, funny shit with like all kinds of like stuff from the original videos, and it's just good stuff, dude.
My favorite thing to do is like to just find like a clip from the movie that has like a funny, either segue away from what I'm saying or segue into the next thing that I'm saying. Like it's so fun trying to find just those stupid things that I can cut and totally take out of context from the movie and put next to what I'm saying.
Dude, it's so clear that you're actually having a good time while you do it.
Yeah, try to.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate
thanks so much
it, man.
for coming on, man. I super appreciate it. Hey, I'm Matt, streaming to you, as always, from Brooklyn.